Yo, what's good, everybody? I am your host, MasterBoris, once again. Welcome to the stream. How y'all doing, YouTube people? How y'all doing, Twitch people? You know, we got some stuff to talk about, but I'm gonna save the Marvel Tokon for last. We're gonna get some stuff out of the way, especially when it comes down to the entertainment and stuff I gotta show y'all on my Twitters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people hitting me up on the phone. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to put my phone on vibrate because I'm trying to talk to y'all, the hot sauce gang. What's good in the hood? What I'm about to do. See, there's a lot of things that are taking place. The entertainment industry, the music industry, that is, people in the mainstream, it's crumbling right now. Video games is crumbling right now due to, credit card companies trying to censor and control what we buy when it comes down to games and removing games. Making Steam remove games that are meant for adults. Now, I'm going to show you something that I retweeted because this is madness. We have to really put up a fight with these people because they are willing to break us down. They're willing to break us down with unconstitutional laws that are being taken place. They also trying to break us down of, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for something. We're gonna get to different topics here. Let's see. Bop. Let's see. Yeah. This right here. You got credit card company censorships on video games is thriving on people's lack of self-awareness, Japanese politicians said. Now, this is going off of the mass delisting of not safe for work video games across platforms like, Steam and itch.io. Japanese politician and former Assemblyman Senko Kurashida addressed the issue of credit card company censorship in a recent interview of Flaminiko gamer Kurashida, who has lobbied against the Japan's legal restrictions on children's daily gaming time back in 2020, and likewise has been vocal about defending the freedom of expression in the popular media throughout the years. The issue of credit card companies one-sidedly enforcing citizenship of games only recently started gaining traction on a worldwide level, but in Japan it has been a problem ever since 2022. When crackdowns on adult content platforms like DL site began. It goes without saying that things have been escalating in the meantime, and Kurashida says that the most dangerous part about the ongoing censorship is the invisible mechanism behind it. See, they always want to throw invisible mechanisms to block things that what you want to do because they don't understand it or they don't get it or they make an excuse to block certain things or ban certain things just because they can't do it or they don't like it or they just plain evil. They just don't like you having fun. It's just simple as that. Aside from being in private companies that wield enormous power over the digital payments, the problem with the credit card companies like Visa and MasterCard is that no one knows their true intentions. Kurashida says they do not state their principles outright, aside from being the general remarks like doing what's necessary to protect brand reputation. What brand reputation? You're a credit card company. Do the processing stuff, and that's it. When people pay using your cards, because we all got Visa, MasterCards. Just do the process of paying. Do the processing fees and all that. Don't worry about who buying what. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand this. Based on his communication with parties affected by the credit card company's restrictions, Kuroshita says that even the platforms themselves have not informed any clear reasons or rules. They just received short notice ultimatums, which causes to err of the side of safety, carry out mass deletions of content. They have no way of finding out what specific content triggers the issue and are forced to act quickly so as to not lose their most widely used payment options. From people I've spoken with at multiple platforms, they're just suddenly told, starting next week, you won't be able to use your payment service anymore. It's not even communicated by Visa or MasterCard directly. It's passed down indirectly through acquirers or payment processors. Kuroshita suggests that this indirect communication and vague messaging is deliberate and is the most problematic part of the issue. Especially with regards to what's happening on Steam, the fact that no one takes responsibility is concerning. In other words, responsibility for censorship and deliberately spread out so it's difficult to pin down. In fact, Visa and MasterCard deny being directly involved, or they're involved. They're the ones who create the rules, but it's the acquirers and processors under them that actually enforce them. Because the structure is so complex, you can't clearly tell who's regulating what or what for what purpose. That uncertainty is the most frightening part and the essence of the problem. However, precisely because it's made so hard to see, I think most people don't perceive how serious a threat it is. And the companies are exploiting the lack of awareness to maintain their power, which is not healthy. He also stated that the solution to this problem lies in raising awareness and diversifying payment options, especially in Japan, which he considers a very non-self-reliant country when it comes to payment infrastructure. If giants like Visa and MasterCard were faced with competition, thus a real threat of losing market share, they will likely be able to make such aggressive moves. Yeah, I'm just spreading the awareness to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I like to do things for entertainment on this channel, but I also like to have serious conversations with y'all. For those of you that are watching, and those of you that are watching need to know some of this stuff, because they're trying to take your rights away of the stuff that you probably like to do in your spare time, and that is video games. Meanwhile, I have to show y'all something else. We got this conversation again. Where is it at? I just retweeted on my Twitter earlier. We got... Let's see. Hold on for a second. Let me get it to here. Hold on. Bop. Yeah, I see your asses. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. suggested, because, he is the Health and Human Service Secretary under Trump, and he suggested video games could be among the factors contributing to rising gun violence, particularly among children. He claimed, without presenting evidence, that the National Institutes of Health was looking into the matter. I mean, listen, this has already been debunked several years ago. They tried to do this in 1992 when Mortal Kombat hit the shelves, and probably the reason why that game, Mortal Kombat, so probably the reason why we have ratings amongst video games. Kennedy said that he made a claim during a press conference about Trump administration make our children healthy again strategy report. Now, it says that the increase in children gun deaths in the United States. Kennedy called it a complex question and stated that while the U.S. has always had many guns and the rise of violence since the 1990s could connect to several societal changes. This includes psychiatric drugs, social media, and video games. He indicated that the NIH is initiating studies to look at all these potential connections. It's already been studies that says what he's saying is false. Crime was down tremendously due to video games, due to people staying at home, especially during the pandemic. You gotta look at it as this. A lot of people do things that is crazy, like shooting people and killing people, due to how hurtful and how evil they are. They don't need external factors of motivation to do it. They just do it because hurt people like to hurt people. Has nothing to do with video games. Has nothing to do with social media. Could be a lot to do with drugs. But then is a seldom situation, a seldom scenario that grown people, not children, grown people act the way they act due to video games. It's seldom. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of people would want to play video games just to escape reality. To escape the societal norms that's outside in the world. Because a lot of things you do in video games you can't do in real life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we already had this discussion already several years ago, several times. Why are they going so hard instead of taking accountability for the people that's in charge in the offices and Congress and Senates, that your people are starving. They're not eating correctly. The education is trash. And you need to use video games as a proxy, as an excuse to implement what type of laws or bans you're planning on doing. But I will tell you this. If you are planning on banning video games to people, crime is going to go up. It's going to go up. Okay? It's going to go up. Study has says it reduces violence of people that play video games. It reduces. Because people probably want to beat a game. You know what I'm saying? They'll be looking forward to. They don't have to worry about nothing. They stay out of trouble. They stay out here in these streets. Because I know I'm one of those people. My dad introduced me to video games when I was a baby. And it kept me out of trouble. It kept me out in the streets doing something crazy. But I was raised right too. So that's also a factor. A lot of these people ain't raised right. A lot of these people don't have parents to raise them correctly and know what's right and wrong. That's really the basis of it. That's really an issue where parents are not parents. Parents are acting like brothers and sisters to their kids. And the kids are the parents. That's really a problem there. Not no damn video games. You know what I'm saying? The entertainment industry is crumbling, and they want to see you crumble. If there's something they don't understand or they can't comprehend or they can't do, they don't want you to do it. Realize that. They don't want you to have nothing fun. They don't want you to have no freedom. They want you to give in to the digital ID so you can be tracked at all times. Whenever you eat, sleep, shit, having sex, they want to see it all. Don't give in. Don't give in. You know what I'm saying? Do not let this pass. Fight for your rights. Because they are trying. They're going to try. And they're going to keep trying. And they're going to keep doing different approaches for you to fall for the beast in the next 47 months. Because they know their world is crumbling. They know there's evil people, there's double agents in those offices, and there's people that want to see you with no plan, no structure, a lawless society. You know, so they can get away with the things they're gonna do to you. I don't care what race you are. Nobody's safe, especially black folks. We already know. That's why we minding our business with regards to this, Caucasian crime that just took place. We're minding our own business because we know what's up and we gonna overcome. That's what I love about my people. When things get worse, we overcome. You know what I'm saying? For the greater good. And we need to do that when it really matters. But yeah. Go vote for the midterms. Go do that. Go do that, man. If you don't like your president of the United States right now, I know I'm talking like political. I don't even like talk politics. This is gonna be the first and last time I'm gonna do it. If you don't like what's going on right now, vote for your wallet and vote who you want to be in position in your city, in your state, and in the whole entire country. That's all I'm gonna say. Because we have this strategy called Flood the Zone. And it's been implemented by the people that you voted for as president of the United States. Matter of fact, I got a clip for y'all. Cause I'm gonna take a bathroom break. Cause I gotta use the bathroom. I got a clip I want y'all to listen to. Hold on for a second. That me and my friend did. I was on a phone call with him. And something y'all need to know. See, I'm on top on it. I'm on top on it. And I want you to be on top of it. Because when you are steps ahead of people that's trying to get over on you, you know the game plan. You know that you can't be stopped because you know it. All you got to do is apply pressure. Is to overwrite their plans to minimize you as a human being. That's what's going on right now in the lands of Babylon. They want this country to be the garden of insanity as a whole. But you have the chance to make it right and fight for your rights. You have First Amendments. All your amendments. Because, you have to protect yourself and your family and your friends. These people don't care about you, man. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care what ethnicity you are. We have to do something for us to make it worthwhile in this country, man. We have to come together on this. Anything they try to implement, like the whole COVID-19 stuff, we stopped that. We almost fell for it, the majority. It almost happened. But y'all fought back. They're going to do it again. They're going to do it again. I'm telling y'all they're going to do it again. And they're going to do it with a different approach. They're going to make it pretty. They're going to make it like, oh, there's nothing wrong. It's okay, guys. Go ahead and do it. But in the long term, something's going to be wrong with you. And something bad is going to happen. Because you fell for the bait. But yeah, I'm going to play this clip, man. I'll be back. And then we're gonna move on to something I want to like do a reaction to. If I can find it. Hold on. If I can find. Matter of fact, I don't even think I have it. Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I put it in my hard drive. No. Is this it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. Yeah. I got it. So this is a conversation me and my friend did last week, and I want you to listen to. So, I'm gonna play it. I'll be back, guys.
Okay, so Trump's strategy is he basically passes all these ridiculous executive orders all the time, right?
Right.
The strategy is called flood the zone. That's what it's called. It's called flood the zone, where he's passing so many executive orders that people aren't able to keep up, right? So when one of them gets challenged, right, and then it's, deemed unconstitutional, then Trump files for appeal. Then the appeal goes to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court rules in Trump's favor. So what happened with the birthright citizenship thing, right? Like, Trump, anybody who studies civics knows that, that Trump was not going to win that. He was not going to get rid of birthright citizenship, right? But his real goal, which he actually achieved, was that the Supreme Court they got rid of universal injunctions, right? Now, what is a universal injunction? What that means is that when a federal judge says, hey man, what you're doing is unconstitutional, that applies to everybody unanimously across all 50 states of the United States.
Yeah.
However, now that universal injunctions are no longer a thing, now it only applies to the plaintiff that's sued in general. So if somebody said, hey man, the police told me that if Trump says, okay, it's illegal for you to wear blue jeans, right? And you're the person that sued and said, hey man, I'm suing because this is bullshit. I can wear my blue jeans, right? And so then, the federal judge would then say, okay, hey man, all right man, you won the case, but then only you won the case, meaning it's still illegal for everybody else to wear blue jeans. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm noticing though is that these federal judges, they're still striking down Trump's orders and they're still going into effect. So what's happening is that most judges across the country, they're ignoring that Supreme Court ruling. So what that means is that, for and against, we're drifting into lawlessness, like at a faster rate than what people are realizing.
Yeah,
because
a lot of people don't know what's really going on out here.
Right, like for example, they raided that guy's house, whatever, John Bolton. They raided that motherfucker's place. And he was on Trump's cabinet during his first term. And so, that obviously, man, that basically all that was that Trump used the FBI, man, to go after John Bolton. And, now this is not a new thing because it can be said, and I do believe this, I believe that Joe Biden set the feds after Diddy. Because I believe that Diddy had tapes on Kamala Harris. I do believe that.
Oh yeah, and all of them. Barack Obama too.
I do believe that. And so they raided Diddy, they raided his home, and this was right when, very interestingly, when Kamala Harris declared that she was going to run for president, and they raided his home. So Diddy definitely got tapes on her, and I believe that. And so, what you see, the thing about it, what you've been seeing, this has been going on really it's been going on for a long time, man. But with every single president, it actually becomes more extreme. It becomes more extreme. Like when so it's been like that. You know what I mean? Like when Trump, got those 34 felonies, that was because Joe Biden did that. You know what I mean? Joe Biden, ordered the FBI to arrest Trump so that he can go ahead and pin those felonies on him, whatever, so that would make him ineligible to run. You know what I mean? And now in turn, now that Trump is president, that's why he's doing all this shit that he's doing now, whatever, to get revenge on all those, man, that he felt did it wrong. And on top of that, man, to basically, ultimately get his revenge on black people. He's always hated black folks. You know what I mean? He's done business with black folks, but he's always hated us, you know what I mean? That's always been the issue. He's always hated black folks. You know what I mean? And
so you think this midterm making a difference? Real quick, because I'm quoting this for the people in Texas that need to know this, because they don't know this. Run down like why this is important.
It's important because the reason why it's important is the Democrats are in power again, like as far as they have the majority, right? If they have the majority in House of Representatives and they have the majority in the Senate, right? Mm-hmm. They have the power to stop and block whatever it is that Trump is trying to do. You know what I mean? That's why it's important. Because the thing about it is Trump, he's trying so many things. Like that third term, that shit he's talking about, that shit's real. He's trying to find a way to convince the Supreme Court to make it legal to run again for a third time. Because this motherfucker, he wants to be president forever. He's not playing. People think that shit's a joke, man. He's not playing.
Like people ain't taking him seriously, man.
They're not taking him seriously. He definitely wants to run for a third term. Because the thing about it is, if he decides to run for a third term, you know who else can then run again? Barack Obama,
yeah.
He can run again. And, as much as I hate Barack Obama, man, I'm telling you, man, that's going to be the biggest one-sided ass whooping probably in U.S. history.
Right.
Because of everything that Trump is doing now.
Like, he's trying to do everything right now to benefit for himself, but it could benefit others. Come along that doesn't have his ideology.
Right.
So that's a thing too, Yep. That's a thing too, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you live in Texas, this is important, bruh. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for that. Don't ever say I didn't do nothing for y'all. Don't ever say I never told y'all what's important. I'm not trying to put no fear-mongering post. I'm just letting y'all know the real. Okay, of what's going on out here in these streets. Because they're implementing stuff that you as an American citizen don't want you to be free. And you got to put a stop to that as a people. As a collective, this will hurt us. And I hate to say it, that things might get worse before it gets better. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And now we're going to move on to the next topic. We're going to talk about music. Alright? We're going to talk about music. So, this caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? But there's other videos too after this. I see Sway talking to Marcus Houston, about the music industry. You know what I'm saying? It's a really cluster or what type of industry that is, especially the entertainment industry. The music industry is very cluster. It is very confusing. You know, you can get lost in the sauce very easily if you don't know the business. Um, but we're gonna listen to what Marcus Houston have to say.
Guys got into making film really early. I feel like a lot of people are starting to, in recent times, have found out that it could be difficult to make money off your music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You guys pivoted early. Was that the reason?
You know what? That's a good question. For me, musically, it was one of the reasons why I didn't go as hard, because I felt like, I did both simultaneously. Growing up, like, I got in the group, did Bebe's Kids when I was 9, did Sister Sister when I was 12. So I was simultaneously always doing both. I was able to do both acting and singing. And I hit a point where I was like, acting is like a really high paying 9 to 5, if you look at it like that.
Okay.
You always get your money on time, but you get your money. And I would always tell people, like, they would always ask me, what's the difference between, singing and acting? What do you like better? I was like, acting, you get your money, you get paid for the work that you do. With music and entertainment, you could put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into something and it not work. And you put the same amount of work in as a person that may be more successful, making more money than you in the music, and you like, well, I'm not, like, they not even putting as much work in. I'm putting work in. And it doesn't have a return on it like that. So when you think of a business standpoint, so I had to transition from being an artist to a businessman. And from a business standpoint, you got to turn a profit. You know what I'm saying? So filmmaking is very profitable, and you really get to create, and you get to live out these stories and tell these stories your way and everything like that. And shout out to Tubi, because Tubi gave us that platform, me and Chris, to open up the widest market for footage films and really build that audience, that core audience that we have with footage films at Tubi. So it was just, for me, that transition was I think it was a time too, because like I said, I did both at the same time. So it was just a time that was slow for even my acting career. I was like, I was going on auditions and I wasn't really booking anything. And I was just like, you know what? This is just, I don't know if I didn't know where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. And Chris was in that time frame where there were a lot of African American directors working in Hollywood, because a lot of people wasn't doing their own stuff. You didn't have Tyler Perry, you didn't have Will Packard, you didn't have the people like that yet. You know what I'm saying? So Chris was like, let's just start our own company.
So Mark, just for everybody that's listening now, because you and Sway, y'all been recognizable for a very long time. Y'all use people's first name, but for somebody listening right now in like Chicago, they don't know who Chris is. Y'all like
Chris Stokes.
Chris Stokes. Give a little background on Chris Stokes.
So Chris Stokes is my business partner, my manager. He started my career. Artist developed. He directed You Got Served. He put together B2K, Immature, IMX, the whole thing. So he's been a part of culture, and you know what I'm saying. So we're business partners now. We both own Footage Films, and he writes and directs, and I also write and produce. So
dope.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Chris
Just
Stokes.
filling it in for everybody listening.
Okay. All right. Cool. And so you started becoming more business minded. When you talk about Tubi, like, there are a lot of independent filmmakers now that Tubi has signed on board.
Absolutely.
And initially, folks was like, "Oh, Tubi, what's Tubi?"
Yeah.
Now everybody trying to get down with Tubi.
Everybody's trying to get down with Tubi.
What's different in terms of the business model that Tubi used, maybe compared to a Netflix or someone else?
I think Tubi gave opportunities to everybody to get their stuff seen and get the eyeballs on it. And I think that's where Tubi was really smart, because and they were free. And that was just genius, because it's like, it's free, it's a place that you could see, and we could see us on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And we were one of the first deals with Tubi. I remember Chris Stokes, his friend over at Fox, called him when Tubi first was streaming. He was like, I have this new streaming service. I see all the work that you've done with TV One, BET. I want you to come over here and help us, break Tubi. And Chris was like, cool, So we did our first movie. He was like, I'll help y'all, like, get the marketing together, bring in that audience. We did our first movie, which was called Howard High. And we
to give you the gist of it, when you're doing music, it's really a gamble of you getting money. You know what I'm saying? Compared to doing acting, doing movies, doing film, it's more profitable. You know, I mean, it don't make no sense. I have to have billions of streams on Spotify to get some money. Even that, you're not really making anything for real. You know? And then you got another problem when it comes down to these streaming services, these music streaming services, where they can just take your music off without no explanation. And we're going to go through that right now. About this chick right here.
Music for streaming, I've never had this issue. Usually it's the opposite, where songs that I didn't make are appearing on my page. I made a 15-minute documentary explaining this for you, and you can find it on my channel. But today's issue is possibly even worse. So let's start from the beginning. My entire life has been dedicated to my goal of being a professional recording artist. When I was growing up, I took my dance, music, and acting classes very seriously. I even got a bachelor's degree in music business because there was literally nothing else that I wanted to pursue as a career. I didn't really know anything about production and recording at the time, but I went for it and I moved to LA. I worked every possible gig I could find while doing sessions every day and working at the Jersey Mike's in North Hollywood. I actually found a journal of mine that said I made a whopping $2,400 off music my first year living in LA. Off to a great start. The only way I was able to get songs released was through singing and writing EDM songs and being the featured artist on somebody else's track, usually a DJ. Since this genre had the lowest barrier of entry, that's ultimately what I pursued and how I survived for years living in Los Angeles.
See,
EDM producers are always...
tell you how she got off the ground, man. Listen, it's not about talent anymore, man. I mean, it can get you a crack at the door, but it's really about who you know and who you align yourself with and collaborate with. Who can open the doors for you. You know, and talent is pretty much last nowadays. Because, you know, in the music industry, there's no superstars of today. You know, I would say the last superstar we have, you know, in the last decade is probably Drake. It's probably Drake. And everybody else, they kind of like, okay, you could say Kendrick Lamar too. You could say Taylor Swift. Well, you know, Beyonce been a superstar. I'm saying for the past decade, they ain't been really truly a superstar where it like their talent and their aura just screams and it just, you know, influence the whole, you know, populations of people. Like a Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston. We're not going to have those type of superstars anymore. We're not going to have another Michael Jackson or Whitney or, you know, Mariah Carey. Those type of stars are long and gone because due to this microwavable, you know, business practices called the streaming service. And the streaming service can be easily, like the numbers could be easily be tampered with, and a lot of digital stuff can go away. When you do stuff digitally, you're not gonna own anything. That's why I keep telling you guys to please go to these stores and get albums, to get video game physical copies. You own them. You can play it as many times as you want to. Digital, it can go away tomorrow. You won't be able to play it again. You know? And I'm glad albums is... I'm talking about them tall albums that, you know, you had a record player and you know, your grandma and your grandpa played in the 70s. That's making a comeback. You know, vinyls. You know? You gotta understand, man, this is what you have to do in order to get notice is, you know, back to what I'm saying about, you know, want to get known on music. You have to like follow people, not actually follow, but get with people that has your best interest and that believes in your vision when it comes down to your project. When it comes down to your craft, excuse me. Because you're just putting out music and you don't really have no steam going. You don't really have nobody watching it or listening to it. You gotta find people that knows people that knows people. I know that don't make any sense, but it's the truth. Oh, I know this guy. He can get you to here, but don't sell yourself short and get into the wrong people that want you to do some strange things for a piece of change in order to become famous and to have fortune. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. But yeah, let's ride out.
Looking for new, unknown vocalists. So it was a fantastic way to gain access to incredible music production right away. However, I wanted to make my own music where I was the artist because I have a lot to say. I have diverse taste and a wide range of vocal abilities that I wanted to share with the world. I wanted to make music that was about the vocalist. I felt kind of powerless because while I learned recording and vocal production, I still didn't know music production yet. Every project required a team of writers and producers to complete a song. And in retrospect, I wish I started learning music production sooner, simply because I could have taken things into my own hands and started my own personal journey as an artist. Between the money I was making from recording songs for DJs and selling vocal sample packs, I was finally able to start reinvesting in my own solo career after about 7 years of hard work in the music industry. This is when I partnered up with my favorite producers and landed my first solo release on Dharma Worldwide with my song No Evil. Still love that song, by the way. And the music video slaps. Shout out to Kashmir and Reed Stefan for helping me make that happen. My second single was a more serious ballad called Underwater, and that went on to be my most streamed solo release on Spotify. For Underwater, I signed a deal with an independent distribution company who was supposed to release the song and collect the master royalties from the streams and YouTube views. I liked the idea of working with a smaller distribution company because you'd think it'd be easier to contact them. The song was released and going really well on the surface. Then on the back end, after a few months of the song being out, I noticed I stopped receiving my YouTube AdSense payments for my channel. To my understanding,
I want to stop here. Please work with small distribution or make a distribution for yourself. You know, because you're waiting on major labels to do this for you, man. You're selling yourself short. You don't really need a label, to be honest with you. You really don't. People can make a hit right now in their bedroom. All you need is a DAW, a keyboard, or whatever you're using, and make a hit record. And it's going to take off. Make sure you publish it too. You know, make sure you fact check and do your own research and how to like publish it and register from like ASCAP or BMI. You know, so you can get royalties and stuff like that. And other ways to get royalties as well. Make sure if you feel like your song is a hit, it's already a hit, make sure you get it copyrighted as well. Like I say, you can always get with people that has your best interest or that's looking for the same thing or wants to become big, and you just came right on time because they need an artist or they need a producer or a songwriter to like get them in the right path. There's a lot of people that are doing music out here that we don't even know about because they want to have us listening to the same songs over and over on the radio. But that's crumbling. The industry is crumbling. And in a way, it seems like it's a good thing because people have the freedom to listen to what they want to listen to without the radio's help. You know, I mean, I thought SoundCloud would have did the trick, but it did. But it was like, well, I'd rather listen to stuff that's, you know, that's on television, that's on the radio. But you got me with the UVGM stuff, with a lot of producers on the team. And you can listen to other people on YouTube as well, you know, and support the movement. You know, I strive, you know, artists to be successful in their own right, and I'm pretty sure this Cara chick right here, she is successful in her own right. You know, she ain't have to bend over to get where she's at. Let's ride out.
This distribution company needed access to my YouTube channel to collect underwater royalties, but instead they ended up collecting my entire YouTube channel's revenue, which I did not give them permission to do, effectively just stealing my money. So I brought this issue to their attention, and instead of responding, they decided to remove my song Underwater from all streaming platforms. No warning, no response, which made me think that I had just lost all of my progress and streams. So in a panic, I quickly started a new account on DistroKid and was able to recover my streams by re-releasing it, and thankfully Underwater was able to stay above water. So that's how I ended up a DistroKid user. Basically an emergency situation. I didn't particularly like them for any specific reason. I just needed to get my song up as quickly as possible. I had so many DMs of people asking me where it went. Throughout this time, I was also developing my content strategies on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And to my surprise, this led to a ton of lucrative brand sponsorships with music tech companies, as well as revenue from my website, imkara.com, which I launched during that time. I finally started making enough consistent income to afford to create my first original album. The album did take a lot of time to create because of everybody's busy schedules. We also got married, bought a house, and had to make money by creating content and running both of our YouTube channels. Remember, nobody pays you to sit there and write songs. So I had to stay consistent with content to be able to fund my dreams of simply making music. After a few successful singles, I decided it was time to make a full album. In my mind, I was going to release multiple singles and albums throughout my life, and this was going to be the start of a solo artist career on Spotify. Or so I thought. So let's get down to business and make this album. While the producers themselves didn't bill me for their time because we were friends and frequent collaborators, we did have to negotiate 12 different agreements. Lawyer fees can range anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 for an entire album with multiple contributors. If you make your album entirely by yourself, this step would be way cheaper or even unnecessary. I do everything above board, and so I wanted everyone's master and publishing splits agreed upon with a formal contract, standard stuff. Next, we have to get the album mixed. In pop and rap music, top mixing engineers charge anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 per.
This is what I want to show you. This right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a cluster. A lot of songwriters and producers will probably contribute to a song. You know, maybe 2% of it, 30% of it, maybe all of it, and you're gonna have to split. Depends on the person or that artist did on the song that you made with different people. So it is really a clusterfuck. I'm gonna say that it's really a clusterfuck because of these like agreements and all that. It really boils down to like, man, how much money you gonna get for these songs? And will it be enough? Will it be enough? You know? That's why I do music for fun. I do music because I be probably feeling something at the moment, and I just make it instead of just doing it as a job or doing it as to make money, because it's not consistent. There's no base formula. Like, if I make a music, I'm gonna make this amount of money. If I make this music, I make this type of music, I'm gonna make this amount of money. Like the film industry, you know what I'm saying? That's why I like doing this for fun, or we do it to, you know, entertain the masses. You know what I'm saying? And we take our time doing it because we love our craft. I'm speaking for UVGM. But yeah, let's ride out.
Splits agreed upon with a formal contract, standard stuff. Next, we have to get the album mixed. In pop and rap music, top mixing engineers charge anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 per song. It makes no difference if it's a single or an album cut. They have operating expenses, they have staff to pay, and they charge a fixed flat rate for every song. And I had 12 songs to mix. Plus, they don't retain any publishing or master, so this is the only time they'll get paid. To me, it was worth every penny because the mixes sounded so much better than our original demos. Plus, we got to learn learn a lot about mixing and what we can do differently in our mixes in the future. I definitely recommend this to anybody serious about their sound quality, even if it's just one song. Next, you have mastering. Top mastering engineers charge anywhere from $300 to $800 per song, but each song has an instrumental, an a cappella, clean version, and of course, the main version. So one song will have multiple masters that you need to pay for. Generally, the main master is the expensive one, and the alternate deliverables are a smaller fee on top. When you upload your songs to Spotify, you can either upload a cover art or a video canvas. They always encourage you to include a video canvas.
I don't mean to keep stopping this video. There's a reason why I'm showing you this video. And I was going to do a reaction video to this separately, but I'd rather stream this. I'm spreading awareness of how the music industry works when you work with people, engineers, all that. Because I'm also an engineer for UBGM. But there'll be times I don't need to do it because the producers be mixing and mastering their beats well. But I do it for the most part. But I am getting back into production when it comes down to music. But anyway, the reason why I'm showing you this is because even though she's telling her story how Spotify removed her song, she's pretty much educating you how it works. How the process of making an album and doing an album and getting people to like write the song or mix the song, mastering the song. She says it all in here. So for those of you that are really trying to get into this music business, it's good for you to know this. That's why I'm showing you this. But yeah, let's ride out.
Those are naturally more engaging than photos. So that leads us to the cover photo. A professional photo shoot with a photographer in an indoor studio in Los Angeles costs anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000. And that gets you a couple hours together to take pictures and a fixed number of final edits. Plus, before you get there, you have to pay for your makeup, hair, and wardrobe. On an album, you of course have the main cover photo, plus additional promo photos for your profile picture, your banners, and any promotional content surrounding your release. Simply paying for the photo shoot gives you permission to only use those photos in your internet posts. If you want to sell merch, put up a billboard, or sell any physical item with that picture on it, you also have to pay your photographer a commercial licensing fee, which could cost an additional hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on their rates. So that's photos. Next, you need videos. Every song on the album sounded slightly different. There was no one visual that would have made sense for all 12 Spotify canvases. So we shot a mini vertical visualizer for each song to have a unique 8-second canvas on Spotify, plus an official music video for my song Nice Cat. Plus I wanted to repurpose this footage for content on Instagram and TikTok, but that didn't happen, and we'll get to that later. At the time, Reed and I didn't know very much about professional video production, so we hired a professional film crew to get us the professional look we wanted. By this time, this is the third crew we've hired, and we've been very happy with the results. So for this video shoot, we rented out a white cyc wall studio that we could redecorate, repurpose, and relight 12 ways, one unique scene for each song. This crew included a director, producer, camera operator, set design, lens operator, lighting team, wardrobe, hair, makeup, location, insurance, and gear rental. Video locations don't work like music studios, where all the gear is provided for you. You have to bring your own. At that time, Reed and I didn't own all of the professional video equipment that we have now. So we rented everything locally in LA. Of course, you have to feed everybody lunch and fit your shoot in a certain time frame to legally meet all of the video union standards. This meant that our one project became a 4-day video crew expense. This cost about $35,000 to $40,000, which sounds like a lot, but that's how much video crews cost. They all did a great job, and they gave very fair prices considering how skilled they are. Plus, it was a 12-song shoot, not just one. So that's video production. Now we have video post-production. For this, we figured the best way to tackle the workload would be to hire an editor and colorist that can work with us in-house. This helps avoid revisions, annoying emails back and forth, or time zone differences that you may be battling with your team of editors. We edited the Spotify canvases and the mini music videos for each song. And depending on where you live, This could cost around $200 to $600 a day. Needless to say, it took a lot of days to edit 12 visualizers and sift through and narrow down all the amazing footage the team captured. In addition to the expensive video production, we also did countless pieces of iPhone content and videos at home that cost little to no budget. They say you want to try to hit every angle when promoting music, so I produced a wide variety of visuals to pair with the music. This was the birth of all my popular home studio content, music production sessions, and product reviews that you watch on my channel every week. So all the camera gear and lighting equipment that we purchased during this time was not only for the future of the album, but to create profitable, high-quality content on YouTube, like this. So now I'm here thinking I got all my ducks in a row, my content is locked and loaded in the chamber, and I'm ready to fire! And all we need is a release date and a distributor. This entire time, I was actively trying to find a management team, a record label, or reputable distributor to work with me on this release. But no one really consistently expressed interest, and it was all just delaying the project from being released. So I said, you know what? F it. I'll just slap it up on my DistroKid account and do this thing independently. We set a release date for March 2024, and it was on. So the release came. I stayed up till 9 p.m., which is midnight on the East Coast. And yes, that's late for me. Refreshing my Spotify, eager to see my album appear on my profile. All of my hard work finally public. Except 10 out of the 12 canvases were missing. All the songs are up, but the expensive visuals I made for them just aren't there. I had to contact Spotify's customer service, and it took about 1 to 2 weeks to get it resolved. So the first 2 weeks of my release, there's just no canvas, just static artwork. Kinda disappointing, considering they cost $40,000. Anyway, I was still excited, thinking, man, I finally made it, the album's out, and I'm determined to go viral. So I opened TikTok and uploaded my very first video performing my favorite song on the album, and
your audio is muted for copyrighted content. Thank you.
So the video is just me dancing and lip syncing to Silence, promoting my new song. I said, wait a second. What about this audio could possibly be triggering a copyright strike?
Mookie, are you the bots?
What if Mookie's been the bots the whole time?
Are you the bots?
I didn't use any splice samples, it didn't get misinterpreted with somebody else's song, and I just released it. And it was already blocked on TikTok. And TikTok's supposed to be the main way that artists funneled their fans to Spotify, right? So I searched the TikTok music library for my album, and it was nowhere to be found. I then looked at my personal TikTok audio library on my profile, and I can only find 2 songs, Money in My Mind and Playback. I thought, this is weird. DistroKid is supposed to release it everywhere. Now I have to start researching and contacting customer support and hoping that there's some sort of
I was on DistroKid for our albums, and I felt like no, I didn't feel like, I found out that I was getting cheated out of my money from DistroKid, and I was like, we're not associated, we're not doing anything with DistroKid anymore. So that's why, if you are, for those of you that are fans of UVGM, Universal Video Game Musicians, why our music has been taken down, because I took him down. I no longer needed DistroKid services because they was doing the wrong thing to, the UVGM brand, and the Spotify and all that is gone, and other streaming platforms, the songs are gone. But there's our songs. Our songs is only on Bandcamp as of for now. So yeah, I'm gonna be re-releasing and remastering our previous albums and put it on Bandcamp, and also a site that we're gonna have for UVGM. Sorry, I know people, most people in the US, they use Spotify, or even people in other countries use Spotify, but y'all gonna have to come in to Bandcamp and listen and buy our music, and also our website will be coming soon, where you can get all of our music and merchandises that we're planning on selling. But I'll give y'all updates on that. Shameless plug, but yeah.
Be resolved. DistroKid's customer service didn't have any solutions for getting my songs on social media platforms. But once I found out the actual issue 3 months later, it made sense why they couldn't help me. It turns out that multiple major publishers were suing TikTok and removing their catalogs off the platform. And I'm here thinking, I'm not signed to any major publisher at the moment, so why is this affecting me? I'm independent. Well, it turned out that one of my co-writers was signed to one of the publishers involved in this lawsuit. And because he participated in the creation of my songs were blocked by association. It wasn't his fault, of course, but apparently this lawsuit started halfway through the album making process. It took 6 months for this publisher lawsuit to stop affecting my music. So for the first 6 months, I just couldn't post anything with my album on TikTok because the audio would always get muted, or it was straight up impossible to find. Once again, if I had just made this album entirely by myself, I wouldn't have experienced this blockage. But how good would an album be if I just made it by myself? So now TikTok's out, which leaves me with Instagram and YouTube as my main album promotion platforms. YouTube ended up being slightly better, but not much. Instead of blocking my audio, they block my monetization. Videos that contain commercially released music are ineligible for Google AdSense payouts. You get paid for an audio stream instead of a video view, and audio streams are worth significantly less than video views. So basically your payouts are lower and funneled back to you through slower payout systems like DistroKid.
Hold up, back up. What did I say? Let me read this. Oh, wait a minute. Time out. Because I didn't know this about YouTube. Okay? 1 million streams of Spotify could be worth roughly $3,000 to $5,000 for an artist, but actually the amount varies. Yeah, that's true. Factors like listening locations, richer countries pay more. Whatever listeners have premium subscription and agreements with labels and distributors all affect the payout. Spotify uses a pro rata system, meaning the payout is based on the artist's share of total streams on the platform. 1 million views on YouTube can earn you a wide range of amounts from a few hundreds over to 20,000. The average often falling between 1,000 and 6,000. Earnings are not fixed, depend on the several factors, including your content niche. Finance can pay more than gaming, viewer, demographic, and ad engagement, whatever you have other revenue streams like sponsorship. Okay, that's true. But the music part where you get paid less for the audio stream. So YouTube Music, you don't get paid the same amount as you do if you have like regular videos on YouTube. Now that's I didn't know that. I thought it would be the same amount, no matter if it's an audio or video with an audio on YouTube. Spotify I knew, because I said earlier that you're not really getting paid that much, even if you have 1 billion streams on Spotify. Like, it's such a ripoff. But yeah, let's ride out.
Are worth significantly less than video views. So basically your payouts are lower and funneled back to you through slower payout systems like DistroKid instead of regular monthly income like Google AdSense. So YouTube wasn't a complete dead end, but kind of a financial dead end, at least when it comes to promoting Spotify releases. So now TikTok and YouTube are becoming a dead end. So let's try Instagram to promote this album. Now with Instagram, it's unclear whether their search engine sucks or the entire music library system sucks. Either way, it sucks. I could not find any of my songs for my album, no matter how completely or correctly I typed it into the search. Maybe Instagram was also being affected by the same lawsuit as TikTok. Who knows? If I was lucky enough to find my songs, I had to quickly save it to my saved audio, or else I literally would never find it again. I had more fans complaining that they couldn't find my music than I had fans using my songs in their content. Isn't that the whole point? For people to easily find and use your songs in their content? Well, apparently not for me. While Instagram didn't mute my audio, they were making it damn near impossible for anyone to find and use my music. So out of all 3 social media platforms, the one that's working out the best for me is YouTube. So I decided to wait for one song to become the most popular song on the album and make an official music video. Knowing that my YouTube upload wasn't going to be eligible for AdSense revenue, I decided to plan the most affordable music video possible. So instead of hiring a big crew, I hired 4 incredible dancers, a choreographer, and 2 assistants to help Reed with all the camera gear and photography. Instead of hiring an indoor location, lighting, and set design, we got an outdoor location that already looked beautiful and provided plenty of natural sunlight. At this point, we already owned some better camera gear, lenses, and lighting for an organic, homemade vibe, which was perfect for my song Peak. The Peak music video ended up being the most rewarding part of the entire album process because I went into it with 0 expectations or hopes for profits, only for the freedom to have fun and create something beautiful. This video shoot ended up being my favorite and most affordable one ever, with the expenses totaling from $7,000 to $8,000. This is the first video I edited all by myself, and now I edit every upload you see on my YouTube channel. But back to the album. The album was consistently growing and accumulated about 200,000 streams in the first year. But unfortunately, all that progress was about to come to a screeching halt. Just a few weeks ago, I opened my Spotify for Artists account and see something really good for once. There's a spike in streams on my song Work. I thought, wow, it's finally happening. A song on my album must be having a breakthrough with the algorithm. This is great. Well, it seemed great until the following week when this email arrives in my inbox.
Spotify has flagged artificial streaming on your tracks. Because of that, your releases containing these tracks were removed from their platform. This doesn't mean you did anything wrong. These things can happen on Spotify without your knowledge. Thank you.
So the song that was just starting to get all those streams was actually flagged for artificial streams, like bots or AI or one of
I mean, were you botting? Were you? I mean, it's a good app. I mean, we're just gonna continue to see what she says. Was you actually view botting? Because that's what's going on right now on Twitch. They're getting rid of the view bots, and also in music streaming platforms as well. Man, there's a lot of that going on right now.
those weird things that scammers do. I wouldn't know because I never signed up for anything like that. Now, I know this sounds like a joke, but they weren't joking because a few days later, my 12-song album became a 0-song album. So after having one of my infamous Kara crash outs on Instagram, I decided to make the permanent decision to never distribute or release a song for streaming ever again. I did not buy any artificial streams or send bots to my profile to run up my numbers, which begs the question, who did? Quite frankly, none of my haters are smart enough to launch a successful cyber attack of this magnitude. So I don't believe that this was done by some person who has a grudge against me. What I do know is that thousands of other artists are experiencing the same exact thing. My theory is someone made a playlist and promoted it with bots. That potentially got me and a number of other artists flagged. It really seems like they just want to punish the artists instead of the cornballs making botted playlists. Or maybe major labels are purposely making it really difficult to be an independent artist. There seems to be more protection for AI-generated music and fake bands than there is for real people making real music. Meanwhile, YouTube is demonetizing AI channels and discouraging low-effort content. Wow, what a difference. It's almost like these video platforms actually care. So that's how much money I invested in creating my album. Let's talk about how much money I made from my album. I have the actual receipts with actual numbers from my streaming payouts, and we're gonna go through them together. First, let's take a look at my...
Here's the disappointing part.
Now, I released this independently, so my label, Laser Jungle Studios, technically owns the masters for this album, and DistroKid pays out the master royalties. The accounting statements are always a few months behind, but these numbers are pretty current, so let's take a look. My album accumulated about 1,182,611 streams, and for that amount, I was paid $1,210.86. This total includes all streaming services, so Spotify, Apple Music,
I tell you.
And I even had 12 album sales, so shout out to those 12 people that bought my album. I appreciate you. As the label, I am responsible for paying the producers their master royalties as well. So even this small $1,200 number gets further divided between multiple people. This album had a short lifetime. It was only up on streaming services for a year and a half. But still, $1,200 for a year and a half of streaming, split between multiple people, it's looking pretty bleak. But that's only the master side.
You ain't gonna have no money.
As a songwriter and producer,
I can understand people gotta eat.
Up with a performance rights organization that collects performance royalties. I happen to be signed with EMI. Buckle up, baby, because these numbers are doozy.
I can understand that people got to eat, but the more people you put onto your project, the more you got to pay. And then after you pay, what are you left with? What? Car payment money? Rent money? I mean, the music industry, bro, is one big clusterfuck. I tell you. Because I feel like if I get more into the money aspect, the business aspect of it, and I feel like the people around me are gonna flip, and I don't want that to happen. I want them to. That's why I keep telling my members, hey, do what you got going on, do whatever it is you got going on, and be successful in your own right on your own too. Then come back to UVGM and we can do something together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to knock nobody's hustle. I made this freaking platform to be a safe haven for music producers and artists to come together and bring life to the world with the things that we have going on in the music that we want to create. That's the whole premise of Universal VG Musicians. For those of you that are watching. But yeah, that's right out.
As you can see on my chart, Work has a couple more statements available because of the fact that this song actually got synced on a very popular TV show, and it was released a couple months before the actual album. So one of the songs was already generating some income before the entire album got released. BMI does quarterly accounting, so I have a total of 8 quarters accounted for. Work generated the most money in this total because of that sync. But still, it's a whopping $338.97. And then when you add up the entire of the performance royalties that I collected in my BMI statements,
and her song called Work,
total of $347.56. There are multiple songs on here that didn't even crack $1. For example, my song Big Butt generated a riveting total of 69 cents. I thought my butt was worth more than that. But apparently not on BMI. But hey, I guess it's better than the 5 cents that my song New generated. So these numbers are just my splits, but there are 3 to 4 writers that are involved in every track. So if you multiply the $347.56 by 4, you get $1,390.24. In addition to this PRO money, there is also royalties that are collected through all of our different publishers, but I can probably guess that it's not that much. And last but not least, I did happen to get a small sync for my song Work, which was $2,000 split between 3 people. It's important to remember that even though my album is off streaming services, there is still potential to land more syncs. So there is small potential for future income, but as it stands now, let's calculate the grand total. So after investing over $100,000 into my album has generated a total of, drumroll please, $4,601.10. So, after running the numbers, was it worth it? From an artistic perspective, yes. I learned a lot, I went on an epic journey, and I got the opportunity to express myself freely and creatively.
That is Cara, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to check her music out. Because not only that she gave you the rundown of how the process of making an album and doing music works and the splits and all that, she also promoted her songs unintentionally You know, that gives people more. That gives people to like look at what you have, or look at all the stuff that you have. You know what I'm saying? Because you know this could be a segue of people checking your music out. You know, and hopefully you know people are doing that. I'm gonna do that actually, but yeah, like she said, artistically it is worth it, but money wise, no. You know, like I said, the music business is so fickle. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, when it comes down, because we're in this digital age, and I freaking hate it. I want it to where people go out in stores and buy physical copies of albums. Please buy physical copies. Okay. Yes, and I'm gonna start, you know, making physical copies of my albums too. Now that I mention it, yeah, you have to support the artists, man, because these music artists we ain't getting no money, man. $4,000 that could be somebody's rent in New York a month. Like what? $4,000, and you did all of that? Oh man, like the entertainment business. That mainly I'm talking about the music business, the music industry. Unless you are, you're consistently going on tour. That's how you make your most money. Why you think Beyonce is going on tour all the time? Because she makes more money doing tours. Like streaming, it's not gonna do it, man. It's not gonna do it. You know, you go to show, you perform, you put your blood, sweat, and tears on performing on stage. That's how you make your money, and also sponsorships. But don't ever sell yourself short. Don't ever do something that's not in your nature to get where you need to be. Don't do it. You're probably thinking about it. Like, yeah, I will give you the world. You get millions of dollars. But here's the thing, though. If these major record labels are giving you millions of dollars, and that's in the contract, you're going to have to pay it back. It's a loan. The music industry, when it comes down to labels, is pretty much a first cash advance type of service. You know those, cash advance, places where they give you loans of money. They loan you some money and you have to pay it back, and then there's interest on top of that, maybe 24%, or depending on what your credit is, they'll charge you more in interest. That's what the music industry is. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna move on before I go. So we're gonna talk about Marvel Tokon. Closed beta test. My first impressions about it. Okay. I think this is gonna be a hit, y'all. I think this is gonna be a hit. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. It's gonna be a hit, y'all. I can feel it. Say what you want to say about the game. I obviously came into the closed beta with low expectations of how the game is gonna be. I have 2 hours of footage of me playing the beta. I uploaded on my extra channel, but I deleted it. Matter of fact, I think I can I play it on here? Let me see. I want to see if I can play it on here. Hold on for a second. Oh boy. Let me see if I can play it. Dang, this freaking video. This freaking video is 2 hours long, and it's 40 gigabytes. I think that's the biggest video I've ever made. Period. Let's see if I can. Can I bring it up? Let's see if I can bring it up.
Man wasn't in this beta. And I was.
Why is it not showing? Why? It is not showing. That's freaking terrible. Okay, there we go. Okay. When I did game capture, it works. So. So what we have here. I'm going to turn it down some. Who was I playing with? I was playing with Captain America, Star-Lord, Storm, and Doctor Doom the whole entire time. This game is fun to play. I dig it. I like how it is. I would say the tracking in certain moves, especially the light attacks, is a bit much. It's a little annoying. I think they need to make moves on whiff, like the recovery frames, like 3 to 5 frames slower. But other than that, I don't really have anything negative to say about this game like that. Well, the only negative is I couldn't play Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Ghost Rider wasn't in this beta. But we're going to see more stuff about this game. Going to find out which characters are going to be in the game. I know they're going to reveal something at Tokyo Game Show. Or this new State of Play I've been hearing about that PlayStation is going to host next week. It's crazy in the hood. This game, I can see how this game can be strategic when it comes down to the assists. Another thing too, I didn't really utilize it. I was pretty much freestyling, learning as I go, because you know, everybody talking about I need training mode. No, this is a network the closed test. Testing the netcode, and the netcode is flawless. I don't even think I had not one laggy game the entire 2 hours I spent playing this, because I tried out the closed beta on Friday and Saturday. I didn't get to do it on the last day. I'm like, man, that's crazy in the hood. I enjoyed it, man. You know, people, you know, taking this way too seriously, while fighting games too seriously, because that's all they have. They're never gonna leave out, you know what I'm saying, their environment. You know, that's the only thing they got. But they go 0-2 at a local and Evo every time, every year. They don't want to practice. They don't want to get better. But you got those same people want to one and done you or rage quit. You know, rage quit on a freaking beta. That's just crazy to me. You know, just play the game, learn how to play the game, and see what you can come up with. Which that's what I was doing here.
That game was first of 3.
You know what I'm saying? Oh. Yeah, like he gonna leave, and the game is first of 3 on the fight that I was saying here. But yeah, I'm gonna go to another fight. I like all the songs. The theme song. Every character can have their own theme song. Good. I like stuff like that. I like storms the best. Everybody sounds good. Every character's theme sounds good. You know, hopefully they diversify the genre of music, because I don't want it to be too pop rockish. Then again, it's Arc System Works. You know, they like their rock music. You know. They like to have guitars, the electric guitars and bass and all that stuff. They heavy bass. I get it. But yeah, this game was fun to play. So, from my understanding, you can only get an assist, if you do a stage transition attack, as you saw there, or when you lose a round. That's when they appear, and you can call as many assists as you want. They have a unique assist, anti-air assist, and a projectile assist. I think the unique assist will be the most important one for a certain character that you want to put in to be on that slot. And it's directional too. Like the X button is the assist button, and you have to press it with the direction of left, right, or down. Okay. Which I played on default settings. I would think setting your own controls will come to play of how you like it to be when it comes down to assist and unique skills, because every character has a unique skill. Like Captain America's unique skill is throwing his shield around. Storm is the wind. It kind of reminds me of Rachel Alucard from Blaze Blue. This game has some elements of, I would say, the combos are like Dragon Ball Fighters. The movement is like Guilty Gear X Zard or Revelator, and I would say mechanic wise it leans towards Persona 4 Arena and Blaze Blue at the same time. So they put all those elements together to make this game, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think we got something here, you know what I'm saying? Only time will tell. Things could change between now and the day it comes out. The game comes out next year in the spring. So a lot of things could happen during that time. A lot of things could change within the gameplay. Or they might just keep it as it is and just tweak it a little bit, But they're going to have to test it out with all the characters that they might have in this game. And we don't know the roster. We don't know if they're going to have 24 characters at the start or 40 characters at the start. I mean, the possibilities when it comes down to the roster is endless. Like, what superhero character or supervillain character from Marvel do you want to see in this game? I mean, it's crazy in the hood. I was testing out my defense right there. Blocking all that stuff there. I mean, like I said, this is really unfiltered, straight off the top. I didn't write a script for this. We on stream, we live, you know what I'm saying? And we are here looking at Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. But yeah, I enjoy this beta for what it is. Like, I think I'm going to be playing this game heavy. If, Tekken 8 Season 3 isn't going to work out, which I have a feeling it's not. And there's another beta that's going on right now, another closed beta called TXKO. Riot Games made it. I'm sorry, guys. After seeing and playing this, I wasn't really interested in TXKO anyway. It just looked dry to me. Like, it needs more sauce. You know what I'm saying? This game has sauce. We got tag team based fighting games that's going on. I'm playing this game the most. I mean, I'm gonna try TXKO, but I'm not gonna be crazy with it like that, compared to how I'm gonna be in this game. I'm gonna be playing this a lot more. I was just not interested in TXKO, so I can care less that I didn't get the beta code for that game. It's really good. It's gonna be a really good game. A lot of possibilities, a lot of combinations of certain characters. It's endless. It's a 4v4 fighting game. Everybody share the same health. It's not like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Like I kept telling you guys, please do not have the expectation for this game to be like Marvel vs. Capcom. Let it be known as, okay, this is Marvel characters Guilty meets Guilty Gear, or Guilty Gear meets Marvel. That's how you should look at it. This is an Arc System Works game. PlayStation, and Disney, who also owns Marvel, they're putting a lot into this, and I'm glad they did not do the beta on PC, because a lot of things would have got data mined. I don't think Disney wants that, where people can data mine and see what content it has on PC that has not been put on the beta, But I feel like I don't even think they're gonna be made to do a closed beta on PC, but they're only doing it on PS5. Because this is a PlayStation Studios game. They probably not going to do a beta on PC. I recommend them not doing it, but something tells me they're going to be made to do it, and things are going to fall apart with leaks. And Marvel do not play when it comes down to leaks. Well, Disney rather. So I wouldn't be surprised if that scenario came about, that they was like, oh, Marvel Tokon is going to be delayed till 2027 because of leaks. So I recommend, guys, do not data mine or leak this game, man. Let it come out naturally, man. People want to just do it for clout, man. It just pisses me off. You know what I mean? Just let the game cook, man, without all the leaks and stuff going around it. Wait and see the next, gaming convention or gaming show that they show trailers, or they show it on social media themselves. My regret of this closed beta, I didn't use Storm enough, or Doctor Doom. I've been using mainly Captain America and getting to hang with him. But you can use one character, keep the character in the entire match, or switch them during preparing to fight. As you see here, you can switch out during round 2, round 3 fight. Because this game, they got the rounds the best out of 5. Oh yeah, grabs takes a lot of damage in this game. But then again, grabbing in this game has a slow startup. I wish I would have checked to make sure, but it seemed like it has a slow startup. And plus, you dash and then you do a grab. If you do forward and then the grab. So yeah. I'm having withdrawals not playing this game right now. Seeing how this game is, I want to play it again. Like this and Sonic Racing Crossworlds, man, having withdrawals not playing this game. Yeah, I wasn't using the counter assist enough either. Which I don't know the frames for that. It's not like Dragon Ball FighterZ Teleport. It's more slower. That the counter assist is your teleport, but the counter assist can be punished. You can bait people out with that. Man, I like the movement. Man, you see what I'm talking about? Fighting games with movement. I love that. See, that's your teleport right there. He hit me, so it triggers it. Now, he could have grabbed... I think he could have grabbed me to counter me of doing a counter assist. And you can switch during the assist. When you call the assist, you just got to hold X to do it. As you see, they said change. Hold it for about a good 1.5 seconds, and then you'll switch your character. I'm also gonna do because I feel like this will be this is my favorite stream I did on YouTube. So I'm going to give y'all timestamps for this particular stream. I'm gonna do timestamps on all of them. I just need to get into it because I ain't had a chance to do it. But this one especially. So those are y'all checking out the VOD. I appreciate y'all, and I always say that. Thank you for supporting me, man. Hit that subscribe button. Join it as a member too. And for the Twitch side of the game, follow me and subscribe to your boy. I'm trying to get my side hustle on too. You know what I'm saying? It'll be nice for y'all to help a brother out. You know? But yeah, I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. But I was just showing you some gameplay that I've done for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. We talked about a lot tonight. Tomorrow, I don't know why I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm thinking about just doing the Fighting Game Roulette 2025. And I think it was going to be the last episode. And then I thought about Marvel Rivals, but the season 3.5 is going to end tomorrow. And I'm almost at Grandmaster, yo. I'm Diamond 1. I don't know. Because I said, well, I don't even think I said it on camera. I said Marvel Rivals, this is my last season doing rank. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people, you know, being dicks and throwing on purpose because they ain't get their character or you ban a certain character. Like, I'm tired of the toxicity when it comes down to Marvel Rivals in rank. I'll stay bronze and enjoy the game for what it is. There's nothing wrong with the game. The game is fine. It's the people that's playing it. You know, I never, ever went through the stuff I went through in that game in any hero shooter. Not even Overwatch. And I played Overwatch since day one. I don't play it now. I played it recently. But I haven't really been playing 2 like that. And I never went through that where people are just being assholes and want to throw matches because they ain't get their character. Or, because, you know, I think Overwatch still got role queue. It's going to be a matter of time when Marvel Rivals have it, when that E's put it in the game. It's going to be a matter of time when they're going to put role queue in. I can feel they're going to do it. I can feel they're going to do it. But yeah, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and go, y'all. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side tomorrow. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Stay safe out there. And put God first.